I've had a couple of guests notice that I send them the same link every time I invite them to join me on screen during a live stream. Let's talk about how I create those. Hi Dragonlings, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Skye. I'm a fantasy author who typically writes paranormal romance under the name SD Hegyes, and today I'm going to talk about how I create Evergreen co-hosting live stream links to send to people every time they want to join me on a live stream. For those who don't know, I stream once a week at least. Eventually I would love to stream more often than that because it really does help me with the body doubling and chit-chatting with people and getting things done. So I would love to stream more often than that, but at this moment I stream at least once a week on Saturday evenings at 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time. I'm moving in July and August, so that might change, but I don't know yet what that's going to look like, and I'm not going to preemptively make plans until I do. However, I've had a couple of people join me as guests on streams, and they have started to notice that I'm sending them the same link every time I invite them. So I wanted to go ahead and talk today about how I create those links, everything I do in order to set up my live streams using Restream, which is the streaming service I used in order to go live on my channel, and talk about everything I put together for all of my live streams. In order to live stream, I actually use a total of 4 sites. It's not as bad as it sounds, trust me. So here are the 4 sites that I use. The first I use is Canva. I use Canva in order to make all of my thumbnails. I do have a Canva Pro account, which means I pay extra for some fancy features. So if you notice something, if you have a Canva account and you have the free version and you notice something on mine that you can't actively get, it's probably because I have a Pro account. The second site I use is Notion. I use Notion in order to plan out all of my content that I post on YouTube or any other social media site. I use it in order to plot out my videos and script them. I use them for links. I use them for pretty much everything dealing with YouTube. The third thing I use is YouTube itself, of course. I actually schedule my videos on YouTube, which I will end up showing you shortly. And then I obviously have all my videos and my live streams go straight to YouTube. Eventually I might add in Twitch. I would love to go live on Twitch. I know a lot of people talk about going live on Twitch. It just seems a little overwhelming for me at this time, so it's not something I've started looking into. Then the fourth site I use, and this is the main thing I use for streaming, is Restream. It is a streaming service that I've been using for a little while now. I don't know exactly when I switched to Restream. I did end up switching to Restream from StreamYard, which I was using prior to. And the reason I switched was because StreamYard upped their prices. I did have a paid version at the time. I had a discounted paid version because of some situation I cannot remember off the top of my head. But then they upped it and it was like 3 times what I was paying. And the other thing was that the free version of StreamYard only allowed you so many hours that you could stream before it cut you off, and you had to get the paid version. And on a regular basis at that time, I was already streaming well over that amount. I tend to stream every Saturday, and my live streams tend to be 3+ hours, and I think StreamYard's limit is 20, and at the time I was doing a bunch of events, which means I was actually streaming more than 20 hours in a month. I was streaming pretty much twice that. And Restream at the time of this filming does not have any restrictions on how long you can stream in their free version. They do have a paid version as well, and I imagine you can get more upgrades and stuff like that with the paid version, but I actually just use the free version. Apologies if you can hear any blarding in the background. My youngest has now got a trumpet for pep band and she is practicing her little heart out. So I will try to cut out that noise as much as possible, but if you do hear it, it is her. So I just wanted to forewarn you, it is making me tremendously giddy that she is playing trumpet for band, but I imagine the noise could get annoying. So apologies ahead of time for that. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at my computer. I'm going to show you everything I use for live streams. I'm going to go through the first 2 sites just a little bit and touch upon what I do there, and then I will actually set up a live stream in real time with you guys so that you can see exactly what I do in order to create my live streams and create that evergreen link that I end up sending to co-hosts week after week after week. So let's go ahead and hop on over to my computer and I can show you how I do that. Alright, so here we are looking at Canva, and as I said, Canva I use for live stream thumbnails. I use it for all my thumbnails. So I've got here my thumbnail for my first stream that I'm doing for the under 1K marathon, which is the example I'm using today in order to set all this up because I need to set up my live streams for it anyways. So there's thumbnail number 1 and thumbnail number 2, which I've already created. I just download the thumbnails and I use it a couple different places. I use it for setting up my streams. I use it for putting information in my Notion, which we'll go ahead and take a look at next. So here is my Notion. Again, I've already got my live stream pulled up on it, and I have my master calendar with everything I have planned that I've already put into my calendar so far. February is looking a little empty because I haven't added everything in yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. But for the live stream itself, I have it set up. It's going to be Let's Be Friends under 1K Marathon. The status I have it in, the publication date, I am doing 2 streams, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, with a break in between that someone else is hosting, which gives me a time to take a little bit of a nap. I'm happy about that. And then here is where the magic happens. So in videos and live streams are fairly similar in my Notion. My videos I actually script. My live streams, I just put the description. So I have the description here with all of the links that I will need for my video, no matter what it is. So like I've got in all of my live streams, I try to have the AuthorTube and writing playlist. Because I use Pomodoro Kitty, I have Pomodoro Kitty up. And then because this is for an event, I've got all event related links as well. So that is what I have for Notion. And we will come back to this because we will be using it when we set up our live stream. So here we go. Let's go ahead and set up our live stream. Here we go. Here is my YouTube channel, and I'm going to go ahead and create, and I'm going to go live. This is where the magic happens. The first of 2 steps. When I'm going to create a evergreen link, this is where it starts. So the first thing I do is create my live stream, and then from there I will create the actual stream link itself. So here we go, schedule stream. We're going to actually create a new stream. Sometimes I reuse settings, sometimes I create a new stream. If you're going to reuse settings, you can actually choose what settings you are reusing from previous streams. If I'm going to be doing like one of my regular productivity streams, I might do the Let's Chat and Create. If I'm doing Symposium, I might use my last craft symposium. But since we're doing a marathon, that is a special event that's being held in February, we're going to actually create new. And from here, we're going to hop back and forth between my Notion and my YouTube. So we're going to go back to my Notion, and I'm going to grab the title of my stream and put that in. And then from there, we're going to come down, wrong side, we're going to come down to my description, and we're going to grab all of that, copy that, and we're going to delete what's already there and paste that in. So that is going to be all of my links I said I was going to include, and then my regular description. From here, we're going to grab our thumbnail, which I haven't, did I download them? I don't think I did. So let's go ahead and download our thumbnails. We've got our first thumbnail, download just the current page. And then once that downloads, we'll be able to grab the second one that we created. Yep, there we go, it's downloaded. Download current page. Okay, update thumbnail. We're going to grab our first one. So here we go. Let's be friends. Okay, and then that's actually all I do for my live stream. We'll hit next. We can customize it. You can customize it. What's this mean? I don't think I've ever checked that. Okay, we're going to keep that checked. Okay, next. we're actually going to set this as public, and this is going to be in February. So let's look at February. This is going to be for the 14th, and my stream time is at 7 p.m. Starts at 7 p.m. my time. 7 p.m. my time, it's 9 p.m. Eastern. So we're going to set that for 7 p.m. and we're going to hit done. Alright, you could technically stream directly from YouTube. I don't do that, and that's where the fun part comes in. So when we hit the back area and go back to manage, it shows my next live stream, which I've already created, as well as the live stream I just created for February 14th. Let me double check something real quick. I have to double check the time for my second stream, because I know when my first stream starts. My first stream starts at 7 p.m. My second stream starts at midnight. My second stream starts at midnight. Okay, so let me go ahead. And we're going to schedule that one as well. So again, we're going to actually, when you reuse settings, you can actually only reuse settings from one you've done previously. It will not let you reuse settings for something that has not happened yet. So in this case, in this Let's Be Friends, will it let me... Nope, I don't want to delete it. I don't want to edit it. Okay, so it won't let me duplicate it. So we will have to actually schedule another stream. Create new, and again, we'll do the same thing. I've already got it set up. So here we go. I'm going to copy this title and come down for our description. I had a different guest joining me for the second stream versus the first stream. So here we go. Everything is set there. I'm going to add our thumbnail. Next, live chat. And then February 15th, and this one's going to be at midnight. So we need to scroll up until we hit midnight. Okay, done. Alright, now both of our live streams are scheduled. Now, here is where the magic happens. This is where I use Restream in order to send out links to anyone who wants to join me on my live streams. So we're going to come over here to Restream. And as you can see, I've got 3 already set up. I've got my regular productivity sprints, I've got my craft symposium, and I have my backstage meeting for anyone who wants to join me and just have like a chat. As you can see, there is no channel associated with backstage meeting. That means that I cannot go live on that one to my YouTube channel or to any other place, whereas both the productivity sprints and the craft symposium are connected to my YouTube channel so that I can broadcast live to YouTube. So I could use one of those two, but just so that you guys can see what I do when I create these evergreen links, we're actually going to create a new stream. So here we go. I use Restream Studio. It's going to turn on my camera, which is actually off at the moment. Let me fix that. Oh, it says I'm using it in OBS. Okay, that's why. Enter without camera, I guess. So it wouldn't matter. I could have left it closed. Okay, so here is my stream. I can edit the title. We're going to call this the hashtag under 1K marathon. And for description, we're going to be like, you can add anything you like. If you're streaming directly from Restream without creating your stream from YouTube, you will basically change your title and your description to everything you did in YouTube. Since I already created it in YouTube, all I have to do is update this with what, it does not matter what this says, because we're not going to be streaming directly from Restream. And you'll see what I mean in just a second. So this is why I said it's like a two-step process. I create my live streams on YouTube, I stream through Restream. So with the stream details, it really doesn't matter what I put here. And again, I will show you why in just a second. So I'm just going to say update later. So, and we're not going to add a thumbnail because again, we're not streaming directly through Restream to YouTube. We'll get there. So update. This is where the magic happens. We're going to add my channels. We're going to add the fact that it is YouTube. Okay, all right, so now it's connected to my YouTube, so that if we back out of here, it actually should show me on the home screen that it is connected to my YouTube. Now we're going to go back into the studio, and now we're going to create my Evergreen link that I will send to any guests who want to join me on stream. So here we go. Under Edit Channels, we're going to click this, and we're going to click Edit. From here, where it says Event, Create New Event Post, we are going to click that drop down arrow, and we are going to choose our February 14th stream. Once you do that, it populates everything for that stream, the title, the description that we created in YouTube, and it also has that thumbnail now. So we can add Save. And from there, if we click on View on YouTube, it will show us directly the YouTube channel, the YouTube stream that I already created. It has updated our stream description made with Restream Studio because I did connect it to that stream. You can either choose to leave that there. After a stream has ended, I usually take that out to just leave the description that I had originally, but it doesn't matter if you do or not. You can just leave it. And so now your stream is actually connected. And then in order to get that Evergreen link, you just hit down here, Invite Guests, copy invite link, and that is the link you can send guests to in order to join you on your channel for any live stream. And again, let's pretend that stream has ended and we're no longer going to go live on that stream. I'll just come back up here to Edit Channels, click on Edit, and then from that drop-down menu, click My Secondary Live Stream. And then, oh, actually, let me go back to that. We're going to go back to that one real quick. Save that. Grab that invite link, and we're going to show you what I mean about the invite link being the same. So this invite link says, so that is something I want you to keep in mind. The last three letters are YPM. Just keep that in mind for a second. When we switch this and we change to the other stream, when we choose that other event, it does update with that secondary link. It changed my guest, so it did connect to that second one, and you click Save. And again, you can view it on YouTube. Look, it's that second one. We are now using that second one. And when you exit out of that and come down to the invite guests and you copy this link, we're going to just put this right next to it. Notice how my code didn't change. We've got EEM-DQJX-YPM, which is the same as the previous one. So that is how I create my Evergreen links. I will just use the same stream section for each of my streams, whether it is backstage or craft symposium or regular productivity streams, and now with this event stream that I will be doing. That is how I create these Evergreen links that I can send out to guests that they can use over and over again, no matter how many times I stream. As long as I am active on that particular studio piece, they can join me. Quick caveat here. What I mean essentially is that you create the live stream on YouTube. You stream to YouTube through Restream using their studio. So you connect the live stream from Restream to YouTube in order to stream to YouTube. So essentially, you're using it as a gateway to YouTube without actually going live on YouTube itself. I hope that clarifies that a little bit. Alright, that's all I have for you guys today. That is how I create Evergreen co-hosting links that I can send to people whenever they want to join me on stream. If you have made it this far in the video, feel free to leave me some kind of links or web-related emoji. And my question for you today is, do you stream? And if so, do you use Evergreen links for co-hosts? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, Dragonlings.